On the one hand, your divorce is imminent, unavoidable. And on the other hand, this is the last thing you ever wanted to give to your children. You are a parent who is faced with a very tough choice of options that seem absolutely non-inclusive of each other. I can assume that you're very stressed, you're concerned, you're hearing all kinds of theories around you and stories about the effect of divorce in children, possibly assaulted by feelings of guilt, shame, and helplessness. Despite how you feel, you're not alone. Let me start by reassuring you that if you're watching this, you're very likely a good parent. You have the right sense of priorities in your heart, and it is a good source of secret power to travel the ugly tunnel of divorce. I want to talk to you about your children today because making the right decisions at the right time can make your children's lives in the future much better. I believe that if your motivation is your love for your children, you will do fine. It won't be easy, but you will do fine. If the motivation is the love for yourself, then this talk is not for you. Here's the test to distinguish between these two feelings that may overlap and may be a little confusing at the first sight, but deep inside they're fundamentally different. And I mean by this, if you're more concerned about how much you will miss your children versus being more concerned about how much they will miss you, that's the difference. The analysis belongs to you and to no one else. This will help you help them. If you're seeking how to protect yourself, maybe some of my other talks can help you, but not this one in particular. When I'm coaching my clients in divorce and they're desperate to protect their children from the impacts of this process, I tell them to start with the acknowledgement that this is not an easy road. Accept that it's not easy. And at the same time, I also bring hope to them by assuring them that there are many ways to do this in a less destructive approach to everyone involved. And you, the divorcing parent, can make much difference in the outcome. There's a lot of power in your hands right now. I have several talks on the divorce subject, but I want to try to keep this one very practical. As the title reads, 7 strategies to protect your children from your divorce. And doing this will require the best of who you are, of how you are, or you may need to undergo important changes in yourself, but you can do it. Divorce, as many other traumatic experiences in life, is a test to who we really are, our strengths, our weaknesses, our values, our integrity, and most importantly, and this may sound cliche, to your capacity to love them. And love is a tremendous source of power. It really is a secret power that surfaces when you least expect it, and truly becomes a window from which people discover themselves, sometimes in rather amazing ways. For most people who have never experienced divorce, it is uncharted territory. No instructions manual. Your best instruction manual is probably a coach, someone who sees all the aspects of divorce time and time again, experience, analysis. I personally have about 200 divorce clients every year, coaching or mediating, and that multiplied by about 10 years puts me in the thousands of hours being immersed in the divorce conflict. So let's talk about those 7 strategies. Number 1, stop arguing in front of the children. In the weeks and months leading up to your divorce, try to reach an agreement with your spouse to stop arguing in front of the kids. Just don't do it. Now that you've decided to divorce, you have to stop the mutual grinding. Do you want to help your children when they are 20, 25, 30 years old? Do you want to help them have a better marriage than what you're having now? Then don't leave this mark on them. Now, if the other parent does not cooperate in the goal, be the one who doesn't engage in the fight. Be the one who avoids the climate that can create the situation. Leave the room, be strategic about it. It will change your children's future. Number 2, present the news as a team. Once you have discussed the big decision of your divorce with your spouse, try to tackle your next courageous and very smart agreement to communicate the situation, the news to your kids together. It's imperative to present the news as a team, even if the news is that the team is changing configurations. I know, having to discuss your divorce with your children is difficult. It's hard. It feels like a monster is eating your guts. But not approaching the situation with the best joint strategy is adding fuel to the stories that they can create in their own minds. It's early enough in the game, so if you can stay in control of how your children perceive this huge change in their own lives, this is a good tool for you. So be open, be real, be transparent. This is hard, but it will help remove that mystery in their young minds around this thing called divorce. If your children don't trust that you're being honest, then they can create all kinds of stories in their minds, and some of them can be very self-damaging. Number 3, emphasize that they are not losing a parent. They know you love them. Of course they do. Do they need to be told and reminded that you will always love them? That what's happening now is not about them? That it's not their fault? Yes, they need to hear it from you. And very clearly. You can do this without going into the details about your marriage problems, of course. The key here is to be very verbatim in your explanation about or what they should expect from this process. For example, tell them that life will change in some aspects and not in other aspects. That you will still do pretty much everything that you enjoy doing with them. Well, they enjoy doing with you. They will take turns sleeping in daddy's house or mommy's house. Be sure to emphasize your love for them and your commitment to continue spending lots of time with them. Number 4, normalize the one-parent activity sooner than later. As your divorce gets nearer, engage your children in more activities along with you. And also spend more time with each one of them if you have more than one. And I'm talking about normal, fun activities. Seek for moments to connect with them, to truly, deeply connect with them. And that could be just to a normal activity. The transition to one-parent activities will be difficult at first. Yes, it will be awkward because through their life they're probably used to going to the park with mommy and daddy, shopping with mommy and daddy, travel with mommy and daddy, and suddenly it's a daddy only or a mommy only activity. I know, I've been there. And it ranges from uncomfortable for you to painful for you. It hurts you more than it hurts them. But remember that this is your thing. At the same time, it's a test for your superpower, so you can do it. The normalization of the one-parent activities will help them with the transition into the future. Now, a very important note here is that you understand that the purpose of practicing the one-parent activities is not to show that you are a better parent than the other one. The purpose of this is to strengthen and to redefine your relationship with your children. Talk to them about things that are interesting to them, and also don't avoid the topic of divorce. This is your opportunity to normalize it. And yes, it will be awkward for a long time, I can tell you that. It will probably make you sad. Be sad quietly, do it courageously. Do not let your sadness betray you and start blaming or trashing the other parent. Be consistent, be noble, let your integrity shine through in this process. You have to be the superhero. Number 5, what I just said, do not trash the other parent. No matter how hurt you feel by your spouse, do not trash your children's mother or father in front of your children. Period. Don't tear your children's hearts with this attitude or comments. Something that I find hard to understand in many of my clients is their blindness about this aspect. Those children love both of their parents. When they hear one parent talking horrible things about their other parent, the stabbing and the wound goes to the children. It doesn't go to the other parent. It's not appropriate either to trash the other parent in front of people who may convey the message to the children, directly or indirectly. So just don't do it. Do not send messages that it's all her fault, all his fault. So your children may never know it, but you will save them from bad psychological and emotional issues in their adult lives if you refrain from insulting that part of themselves, because that is a part of themselves. You will literally save them via your courage, your integrity, and again, divorce may serve you to test some important aspects about yourself. Number 6, reaffirm how important they are to you with quality time for them. Plan your separation prioritizing your children. Out of my clients, probably 10-15% do this. It's very smart. Also, I noticed that having this priority in mind gives them a lot of strength during the divorce process. Earlier in the process, rather than much later, try to have a place where they can spend nights with you. Another super important strategy is a mini vacation. Soon after the separation, take a mini vacation with just you, them and you. Especially if you have less parenting time with the children, do the mini vacation. Now, do not include anyone else in this first vacation. Not your brother, not your friend, and definitely not your new love. There's a subtle message here that the children are at the center of the vacation and their needs are your main focus. The reading must be clear to them. So don't make the mistake of underestimating the importance of who comes to this vacation and who is excluded. Number 7, readjust your weekly time priorities. Divorce comes with an ugly feature among many other ones, and it is that the clock every day does not add more hours to your day. At the same time, your children don't have a copy that you can paste at your new home. So you have less time to spend with them. This sucks, and it hurts, I know. Now, objectively speaking, what I discovered in my own divorce is that the loss of time with them is relative. If you work and have a normal adult life, some of the time supposedly spent with your children is at home, but not actively engaged with them. And this is the key for your new life. You will need to make some lifestyle adjustments, and they will be well worth it, believe me. You will thank yourself for having done this in a few years' time. Make time for your children in exchange for some of the time you spend now in your own social life, your own just plain entertainment, your computer. Yes, this means a few less hours per week in other activities. Time is very physical and not very forgiving. Now, the other part of the solution to this equation is to be more present in the activities with them. That means actively present, involved. And I guess this is called quality time, and it's exactly that. And here you can be creative. You can consider including them in activities that you once did alone or with just adult friends. I don't know, biking, golfing. If your job allows it, bring them to work sometimes. Travel with them in work type of travel if it's possible. So you will never regret having traded ordinary time in your life by high quality time with your children. This is a silver lining for sure in this ugly thing called divorce. I hope this is useful material to you. Good luck.